I wanted to make this video because I'm pretty excited about some of the new pieces of vinyl I just got. Let's take a look at Plaid Room Records shipments. I got some Tone Poet, Blue Note Classics, and a new one from Daptone Records. Plaid Room Records is a place that you should buy vinyl from, period. They have used LPs and new LPs, and they have the stuff that you want, and they're partnered with an awesome label that also sells records and has their own artists called Coal Mine Records. And those artists are also pretty awesome as well. You should check them out. Plaid Room has some great deals, and I just took advantage of one and got this huge box of vinyl as well as this pre-order. But to start, this video is not sponsored by them. I'm just a loyal customer telling my vinyl loving friends in the community of a great place to get pieces of vinyl. The only deal I got here was their fall sale, which ran a few weeks ago, and that is it. Coal Mine Records and Plaid Room Records are one and the same. One is a record store and the other is a record label, and they also partner with other labels to make exclusive pressings, and they just recently released this, the long-awaited repress of the Scone Cash Players' Blast Furnace, which is their debut album. When this originally came out, it was on Flamingo Records, released on random colored vinyl, and I think they only pressed about 150 copies of it, and it was extremely, extremely hard to find. Even to today, it's pretty pricey if you want to go out and get it. So it's awesome that Coal Mine released this edition. Now the hype sticker here says that it was mastered by Ian Hendrickson Smith, lacquer cut by Well Made Music, and pressed at Gotta Groove Records. Gotta Groove Records is a very good record plant, and they know what they're doing when it comes to colored vinyl. So let's get into the colored vinyl of this record. The Scone Cash Players are one of my favorite bands. They consist of a lot of the guys from the Manahan Street Band and Sugarman 3. So there is the Coal Mine label and the Blast Furnace Red. Here it is from up top. And it's just an awesome, awesome swirl. Very, very cool. There's the second side swirl. And like I said, the Gotta Groove record plant definitely knows what they're doing in regards to that stuff. This in particular album does have Tommy TNT Brennick from the Manahan Street Band and the Budos Band. And real quick, we'll show you the cover. And there's the back cover from up top. And there is the back cover here. Coal Mine also released a pink variant of this, which is the indie label, and I think they're not as rare as these red ones. This album is so good. If you like organ-driven boogaloo and funk in the style of Jack McDuff or Charles Earland, this is your jam. This next one and the last one were both part of the pre-order that I got from Plaid Room Records, but this is the Scone Cash Players' Brooklyn to Brooklyn, which is their newest album on Daptone Records, and I think it's actually the first official release for the Scone Cash Players on Daptone exclusively. And Coal Mine paired with them to come out with this run of 150 copies of this awesome palm tree green splatter. So let's take this out and take a closer look at it. I'm not sure if this was also pressed at Gotta Groove Records, but I do know that it sounds amazing and the splatter on it is just awesome. And the fact that there's only 150 of these available is super sick. As you can see here, it has the Daptone original blue label with the new Daptone logo, which is very, very sick. I really like the new Daptone logo, and I like the original blue label, the dark blue color label. That kind of always shows you that that's the official Daptone color variant whenever they come out with a new record. So here is the backside cover. I love these Daptone backside covers. They are very, very old school looking. They're very 60s. I mean, the 60s era is probably my favorite era of everything funk, soul, reggae, like pretty much everything I love is from the 60s. Again, for this, there is also an all green variant that is the indie store exclusive, which has a white record label. And this just came out a few weeks ago, and these guys are touring. And I see a lot of people on here and from other vinyl community channels often talk about that we need to mention new artists in videos. Well, these guys are new, and this album is recorded in 2022. And I've been trying to get verification on this, but I definitely know that Daptone and their West Coast studio Penrose do record on tape and analog and live. So I would only imagine that this is also cut from tape and it's also an all analog vinyl edition. All their stuff I can say is 100% certifiably funky as hell. The grooves here are really deep, but also with some awesome vocals added in, some new styles being introduced. Definitely check these guys out and check out Coal Mine Recording Artists as well. I've got a new one from Say She coming in the mail, and I look forward to sharing that one as well. While we're here talking about the Skone Cash players, we might as well bring up the other album I have from them, which is actually on that Flamingo Time and Mango Hill records. This is As the Screw Turns, and this is on standard black vinyl and re-released through Daptone Records, but you can definitely get your hands on this one. And again, another funky groover here, really sick. Here's the front cover of this one. Which actually great about this record is that it features Naomi Shelton, an amazing soul singer. She was on Daptone Records for a really long time. She was actually on Disco Records as Naomi Davis before that, and she's awesome. Nice little bonus piece of vinyl here. Definitely check out As the Screw Turns from Skone Cash Players. Now on to this big box of records from Plaid Room Records, and you guys should know how dedicated I am. I've waited to open this just for this video. This box of vinyl has been staring at me for a few days now, so if you could, please take a minute to subscribe below and let me know that it was worth it. Plaid Room just recently had a sale, which they do often. This was an entire store sale, and what caught my eye was Tone Poet and Blue Note Classics vinyl. When you order from Plaid Room Records, you get amazing customer service, and they respond extremely fast, and they ship extremely fast. I ordered a bunch of Tone Poet vinyl, and if you watched my jazz label video, which can be seen right here, I had some issues with ordering my last Tone Poet Blue Train. And since these jackets are so nice on these Tone Poets, I was ordering a lot, and I was worried that this box would be overstuffed and crappy. So let's take a look and see how it is. All right, so here is the box, and we're gonna open it up here. And right away, I did kind of check this a little bit earlier when I got it, just to see like exactly how it was packaged, and kind of made me want to make this video so you guys could see it. But as you can see here, nice packaging, and it's almost in this like suspension system within the box and the box itself. So like none of the vinyl is touching the sides of the box. So when it's being shipped, it's actually being shipped pretty safely. In the box, we get this awesome dog picture of their dog. I think its name is Sunny, playing it cool on Record Store Day, April of 2022. And we also get this awesome Plaid Room Records logo sticker, which I have many of now. And we're just gonna take the whole package of stuff here. They have a nice little, look, I'm not even doing this correctly. They have a nice little hole to put your thumb in so you can pull your giant set of vinyl out and not have to bend your edges. And then we pull the whole thing out, and it's all nice and wrapped in a nice little bubble wrap plastic. But check out that box, look at that. All suspended, even on the bottom side, the box is suspended with these egg crate things underneath. So this vinyl is not touching the sides of the boxes the entire time it's getting shipped. I've ordered from Plaid Room in the past, and I'm used to getting these types of mailers from them, and even these mailers are really nice. I always like when places have good mailers, and I like to talk about that they have good mailers, because those are the good places you want to order from. So this is the set here. Let's see what we got in the set. We'll open it up here. They've got it all wrapped nice in plastic. Bam. And there's our first one here, which is Wayne Shorter's Adam's Apple. Blue Note Classic vinyl. And I got this because I love Herbie Hancock and I love Wayne Shorter, but also, seriously, I don't think you can go wrong with getting any of the Blue Note Classic vinyl series or any of the Tone Poet series. As we're gonna see here, I am trying to collect all of them eventually, and eventually I will, but this is another one on my list that is now checked off. This is from the 4200 series, and it has Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Reginald Workman, and Joe Chambers on drums. And this came out a while ago, and I've seen other people talk about this record, so that's why I wanted to get it here. Next on the list now, check this out. So they have it opposite side spines. So the spines on one side for the other is on the other side for the other. So that actually makes it nicer. But this is my Herbie Hancock Maiden Voyage. Again, Herbie Hancock is my favorite jazz musician, and I am so extremely excited to have this record now. George Coleman, Ron Carter, and Anthony Williams. Anthony Williams is a legend, goes by Tony Williams later on. You probably have seen him record as Tony Williams when he has his own albums. I have a few of his own albums, as well as almost everything he did with other people like this, but I am so excited to have Maiden Voyage again. Here is the cover, and there is the backside. This is from the 4100 series of Blue Note, probably early 60s, I think probably 1964. So the Blue Note 4100 series and 4200 series are like my bread and butter. I really, really like those two. 4300 starts to get into kind of like more of the funk stuff and more of the 70s, but definitely check this one out. Next on the list, we have Eric Dolphy, Out to Lunch. I am excited to have this. I believe I have one other Eric Dolphy vinyl, and now I have two. I would like to eventually get all of Eric Dolphy's stuff. He was actually one of the first jazz artists that I got into, oddly enough, when I was very, very young, starting out. I thought he was really cool. I think I saw a picture of him with a flute or something, and I thought it was awesome. But this also has Anthony Williams, or Tony Williams, on drums, as well as Freddie Hubbard, who's another favorite of mine, Bobby Hutcherson, and Richard Davis. And this is from the 4100 series. So there's Eric Dolphy's Out to Lunch. Sick record. Definitely check this one out. Now we get into the Tone Poet series. The only real difference from the Tone Poets that I have found are the covers. You get amazing quality gatefold covers with amazing photos inside that you don't get with the Blue Note Classic series, but the vinyl itself, the music itself, is still cut by Kevin Gray from the original master tapes, 180 gram vinyl, so the records are all the same. So the Blue Note Classic is just a real good bargain, and then when you want to step up to a little nicer jacket, you get these. And this one I got was Passing Ships by Andrew Hill. Joe Farrell on saxophone here, one of my favorite saxophone players. I have a lot of his stuff from CTI Records. And then Woody Shaw, Dizzy Reese, Julian Priester, Bob Northern, Howard Johnson, Ron Carter, another one that I love from CTI, and Lenny White, who is another great drummer who went on to be like a very good fusion drummer. This album is actually interesting for me. I have a lot of the Blue Note, in fact, I have all of the Blue Note Modern Jazz series digitally, and I've had it for quite some time. I have the whole 1500 series, 4000, 41, 42, 4300. This is a very interesting one. It was one of those ones that wasn't in the original Modern Jazz series when they came out in the 60s and 70s, but this is definitely one of the sick ones that I'm excited to get into. It's got 3 LPs, but I think one of the last sides is blank. So yeah, pretty awesome. Next out of the box, we have Sonny Clark, My Conception. Another one that I don't think was in the original Blue Note Modern Jazz series, the 4000 series, but it is definitely an awesome session. Hank Mobley, Donald Byrd, Paul Chambers, and Art Blakey. I'm excited to get into this one very much because I haven't heard this one very much. Next in the box, we have McCoy Tyner's Tender Moments. Again, I should have also got expansions because Plaid Room Records also had expansions there. I'm probably just going to go right back and buy that as well. But McCoy Tyner, amazing session here, and the stuff that he does is just so good, and that session with expansions is actually really great as well. This one's awesome, has Lee Morgan on trumpet, Benny Maupin on tenor sax, and he's actually one of the original Headhunters along with Herbie Hancock, so you can't go wrong with that. And again, Blue Note Tone Poet series, very good. You should definitely check this one out. This last one here is actually the reason why I actually went out and got this entire box or placed this entire order. This is Chick Corea, Now He Sings, Now He Sobs, and I actually have the original solid state recording from 1968, but my cover isn't in the greatest condition. It's got a little edge wear, but the vinyl sounds great. So I wanted to get this again because I know that these Tone Poet covers are just fantastic. I will say this is one of those moments, man, where you get onto Plaid Room Records or you get onto any, website and you have one record in mind and you're like, yeah, I'll get that. And then you're like, oh, this got a 15% off sale. Oh, and then the next thing you know, you ordered 9 records or 8 records or whatever it is that I just bought here. This is an awesome session with Miroslav Vidas on acoustic bass and Roy Haynes on drums. And man, I just love this record. And so I'm very excited to have this in a nice, pristine 180 gram remastered quality. Very cool. So this is a very great one to have. I would suggest you go out and get it as well. And why not? We'll have one more bonus Tone Poet. This one actually isn't from Plaid Room Records. I got this one from Vinyl Junkies, which is another website you should definitely check out. But I got Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers Witch Doctor, which I'm also very excited about. Blue Note Tone Poet. I've been just stocking up on these Tone Poet records, man. They're so good. This one has Lee Morgan, Wayne Shorter, Bobby Timmons, and Jimmy Merritt. Jaime Merritt? I don't know. Oh man, Jaime Merritt. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. It's spelled Jymie, Jaime Merritt, I guess. I don't know. Either way, Lee Morgan and Wayne Shorter and Art Blakey are on this, so that means you should just buy it. That's basically how I go out and buy jazz. If I find an artist that I like, if I see him on anything else, I'll just go and buy it because his music is so great and it's instrumental, so why wouldn't it be awesome? So here we go. We got Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers' Witch Doctor. Definitely go check this one out. As I said in the beginning, you should order your vinyl from Plaid Room Records. I'm not paid to say this. They probably won't even see this video, but if they do see this video, let's film something. Hit me up sometime. We'll make a commercial. Seriously, if you've been looking for pieces of vinyl and came across Plaid Room Records or Coal Mine Records, feel free in knowing that they are great curators of vinyl and feel safe ordering from them. They also will try and get you other vinyl from other places if they had something listed but ran out of stock. That actually happened to me once. And the artists that are on Coal Mine are actually really, really sick as well. Some really great funk and soul and other genres, so definitely check out Coal Mine Records. Okay, I've said enough. I'm gonna go listen to these Tone Poets and chill. Tone Poet and chill should definitely be a shirt. I will see you guys on the next one.